Hi, thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Thibault, and I'm Vice President and General Manager for Vulog for North America. Vulog is the world's leading SaaS-based platform to power new mobility services. We power extremely successful services and cutting-edge services around the world, such as Evo in Vancouver, Canada, that now has about 1,300 vehicles in British Columbia. We power eMove, which is a joint venture in Spain and Lisbon, Portugal, that has 750 cars, and it's all electric vehicles. And we also power a new one this year, which is called Webley. It's a joint venture between Repsol and Kia Motors over in Madrid. So 2018 has been a very exciting year for us in mobility, and it's been a really exciting year all around for us at Vulog as well. And this year is particularly special because we've been able to have a significant amount of success in the past and this year as well. So I wanted to just stop briefly before explaining more specifically what we're here to announce, to talk a little bit about our product and what it is that we do, just so everybody's on the same page. So we provide an end-to-end platform for companies, big and small, to be able to launch very high-tech and very successful mobility projects, whether they be one-way projects, round-trip project with reservation, instant access, really anything that an operator would want to launch in 2018. And we do so with four components, I guess, that would create an end-to-end experience for users that an operator would have. The first component is in-car technology, so hardware, enabling a customer to be able to access a vehicle, lock and unlock a car, and be able to have the telematics unit, the GPS tracking, et cetera, et cetera. But what makes our offering a little bit special is that we have cutting-edge accessories as well to really take that user experience to the next level. So that's the first part. The second part is a very robust and very flexible mobility platform that enables an operator to be able to do a number of things. It really is the central nervous system to a mobility project. Now, there's two things that stem from this mobility platform. There's consumer-facing items, just an app and a website. And you also have the operator's control tower, I guess, which is composed of a fleet admin app for runners and fleet agents to be able to run around the city, unlock cars, clean cars, do oil changes, and all that good stuff. And you also have a central control tower, which is the back end, where you're able to do the fleet management for all your vehicles. You're able to do your marketing campaigns, your CRM, everything that you need to power the day-to-day life of your service. That's not even talking about the BI platforms that we've developed, the AI tools that we have, but we can talk about that a little bit later. Now, as I was talking about earlier, what we're here to talk about today is our recent evolutions and what's happened. The US Department of Energy, they create in the segment the trips that are taken by vehicles or in different categories that are based on duration. And 60% of those trips are actually under 6 miles. You've got a category that's about 25% and a quarter of the trips, that's 6 to 15 mile trip. You've got about 15% of those trips that is a trip of more than 15 miles. Now, what's really great about this is that a car can enable you to take any of those trips, right? Both the short trips or the long trips. But there's other vehicles that users might want to use, and obviously we've heard a lot about the scooter wars this year and everything that's gone on, especially in the US, but elsewhere as well. And we've obviously been working on that pretty hard in the past 2 years because it's something that we realized and that the data was telling us really early on, is that those users really need to find new ways to transport themselves from point A to point B in those very short trips, which if you look back there, it's about 60% of the trips. So what we've been working on really hard is making sure that our platform is multimodal and enables an operator to launch a service that would be able to have cars on it, have the scooters, whether they be mopeds or have kick scooters on them, all within the same platform to create a very easy to scale environment. So we're here today as part of this reflection to announce a few things, because it was a reflection 2 years ago, and now it's obviously yielded a lot of concrete results. So Q4 for us this year has been our best quarter ever, and we're here to talk about a couple projects that we launched in Q4. We're also here to talk about a new exclusive scooter launch And we've got some representatives from the new operator that's launching in Miami, Florida. And we're also here to talk about a new kick scooter integration that's going to make life extremely easy for any operator that wants to launch using the Vulog platform to be able to just buy a number of scooters, putting on our platforms with just a couple of clicks. So let's start with the first one. We launched 6 large-scale new mobility projects in Q4 of this year. I say that we launched, but there's still a couple that are forthcoming. I can tell you about 5 of them, and the 6th one is going to remain a mystery. You'll just have to stay tuned after in the coming weeks to hear a little bit more about it. But let's go on and start to talk about them. So we really segmented because we are a global company and a global platform. We are able to power trips and to power any country in the world, and we launched 2 large projects in Europe in the past couple of months. The first one is AMO from Sumitomo Group. It's a 300-car free-floating project, free-floating car sharing project in Stockholm. And it's all electric vehicles, and it's funded and it's operated by Sumitomo Group. So it's a large project, very, very, very interesting to work with them as well. The second one is a little bit different because it's a company that we work with already out of Copenhagen that has 450 cars, and they decided to license their concept to, or franchise their concept, I should say, to another operator, which is public transit. It's the Norwegian State Railways, which is a public transit operator in Oslo. And so what they're doing now is they've got multiple projects. They're running in multiple cities in one and the same app, but it's actually a franchise model that they're using over there. So it's operated under the Green Mobility brand, but it's 2 different, it's a franchisee and a franchisor that are operating it. So that's opening up really interesting opportunities for companies that want to follow such a model. So that's for the European projects, but let's move on to China now. Obviously, China is an enormous market, and we just launched our first project and did all the work that we needed to do in order for our platform to be scalable towards China. So we launched our first project with Free2Move China. Free2Move is a joint venture in China between Dongfeng and PSA. We launched 300 free-floating vehicles, but the footprint of this project is extremely interesting because they've announced that they're going to 3,000 cars in 2019. So they're going to go 10x on the number of cars from launch till a little bit later than a little bit longer than a year. So it's a very exciting project, and we're very happy to be working with these 2 OEMs that have come together to launch a large project in China. Now, we're obviously in the US, so I saved the best for last. Wanted to talk about US project and US presence. So we recently launched about a month ago Free2Move car sharing with PSA Group. Free2Move car sharing is right now in Washington, D.C. It's got 600 free-floating cars, and they're free-floating cars from GM that PSA Group is putting on the streets of D.C. So they've got about 200 Equinoxes and they've got about 400 Cruises on the streets of DC that users can take from one ward and carry it through and park it in another ward. They've got these universal permits that enable them to park at any parking lot in the city. And it's been really great working with them for a large US project. But we also have 2 other US projects, one of which, as I said earlier, we can't talk about, but another one which we can talk about right now, and it's actually an exclusive, and we work closely with this partner, and they've enabled us to talk about this as their premiere. So we have a scooter back here, and feel free to come and check it out. And this new project is being talked about really for the first time in public today, is Dashi, which is launching 120 scooters in Miami, Florida, that are set to hit the street in the next month. We've got one of the founders here of Dashi, that is Ari. Feel free to raise your hand. If you've got any questions about this project, about the scooters that are about to hit the street, if you want to know how you're going to go in the holidays and use the scooters that are going to be all over the streets of Miami, South Beach, feel free to stop by and talk to him. He's going to be around the booth for at least an hour, probably for the rest of the day. So feel free to stop by or come talk to us. We'll gladly talk about this project because it's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to go down to Miami over the holidays to ride these scooters on South Beach. Now, there's a third announcement that we wanted to make today, and you saw the progression, right? We're doing car sharing, mobility with cars, we're doing scooter sharing with mopeds, but now obviously everybody's talking about the kick scooters. And what are we doing with kick scooters? Well, now our operators and the companies that we work with, really would like to be able to have scooters be connected, and it'd be very, very short from the moment they make a decision that they're going to add scooters to their fleet or just launch an outright scooter sharing fleet. So we've gone ahead and started working with Segway. And Segway will be able to sell early next year. They're going to be able to sell scooters that are going to be directly connectable to the Vulog platform with just a couple of clicks. So what that means is we're shortening cycle times between the moment that an operator decides that they want to launch a scooter share and the time where they can actually get to market. So we're working with Segway on that, and that integration is going to be available early next year, and any and all operators are going to be able to use and launch scooters from Segway onto the Vulog platform. Now, this is the first integration of the sort that we're announcing. There hasn't been any others yet, but you can expect that there's going to be a lot of these in the coming months because a lot of our customers are requesting it and a lot of our partners want to partner with us. So we're going to be announcing a few more of these integrations in order to simplify and streamline the adoption of scooter sharing in any project that works using the Vulog platform. So that's about it for us now. I wanted to thank you for stopping by. What we try to do at Vulog is we try to make it really simple for the companies that we work with and the operators of mobility anywhere around the world to create a mobility ecosystem that would have any type of vehicle and that would power any type of new service. So if you want to chat more about this, feel free to stop by. Feel free to stop by and talk to Ari if you want to talk more about Dashi, the hot scooter project that's launching in Miami. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alex Thibault. I'm out. Thank you.